You know the moonwalk, you know the glove, you know the voice. But here is what most people never talk about. Some of the biggest hit records of the 60s, 70s, and 80s were written by Michael Jackson, and nobody out front ever got the credit. These are real, famous, charted songs you have heard your whole life. Stay until number 1, because that story will completely change how you see this man forever. Number 10, Muscles by Diana Ross, 1982.
Stay with me, you won't regret it. Take this love.
Before Thriller dropped and rewrote music history, Michael Jackson was on a Concorde jet flying back from London,
So deep to swim in, come to me, and that love.
where he had just been recording with Paul McCartney when a complete melody arrived in his head without any warning. No tape recorder, no notepad. He sat with that song trapped inside him for 3 hours until the plane landed. The moment he got home, in his own words from the Moonwalk autobiography, he whipped that baby on tape. The song was Muscles, and he gave it to his closest friend in the industry, Diana Ross.
I just want some strong man to hold on to.
The story behind the title is one of the greatest inside jokes in the history of popular music.
I want myself.
Muscles was the actual name of Michael Jackson's pet boa constrictor. He kept the snake at home and sometimes wore it around his neck like a living accessory.
I don't care if he's young or old. Just a man.
Diana Ross came to visit him one afternoon, came face to face with that snake, and was completely terrified.
I just want some.
Michael found it absolutely hysterical, and somewhere in that moment, he decided to write a playful song about physical desire, name it after his reptile, and hand it to Diana to deliver with a completely straight face. It worked perfectly. Muscles hit number 10 on the Billboard Hot 100 in November 1982, spending 17 weeks on the chart, and climbed to number 4 on the R&B chart. It earned Diana Ross a Grammy nomination for Best Female R&B Vocal Performance. And Michael Jackson, the man who wrote it, produced it, and sang uncredited background vocals on the finished track, is not mentioned anywhere on the record. The biggest star in the world handed Diana Ross a hit and walked away without taking a single ounce of public credit for it. You are still here, and that tells me you already know this list is something special. Before we count down the top 5, hit that subscribe button right now. RnB Grove drops deep dives like this every single week. Ring the bell. Now back to the countdown. Number 8, Centipede by RnB Jackson, 1984. 1984 was the year the entire Jackson family conquered the Billboard charts at the same time, brothers, sisters, all of them charting simultaneously. But it did not happen by accident. It happened because Michael Jackson made a deliberate decision to use the most powerful platform in pop music to lift his family. He started with his oldest sister, RnB. RnB Jackson had never released a solo record. She could sing, everyone in that family could sing at a professional level, but she had remained out of the spotlight while her brothers became global superstars. Michael sat down and wrote Centipede specifically for her debut, produced the record himself, and brought in the Weather Girls, the women behind It's Raining Men, as backing vocalists. He even sang background on the track himself, quietly and uncredited, as he always did when he helped other artists. The result was one of the most extraordinary debut singles in R&B history. Centipede peaked at number 24 on the Billboard Hot 100 and went all the way to number 4 on the R&B chart. Rebby Jackson became the first of Michael's sisters to crack the pop top 40. And she did it on the strength of a song her little brother handed to her at the exact peak of his own global fame. In the same year, he was selling out arenas worldwide on the Victory Tour.
You're bound to feel the fire.
He could have sold Centipede to any label on the planet. In 1984, a Michael Jackson original was priceless to any record company. He gave it to his sister instead. No announcement, no fanfare, just family. Number 7. State of Shock by the Jacksons featuring Mick Jagger, 1984. Here is a fact that sounds invented until you actually look it up. In 1982, Michael Jackson wrote a hard rock song intended for the Thriller album as a duet with Freddie Mercury of Queen. The two had been recording together privately for over a year. Scheduling conflicts ended the collaboration before it could be finished. Quincy Jones did not select the track when finalizing Thriller, and so the song sat waiting in a drawer for 2 full years. In 1984, Michael revived it as a duet with Mick Jagger of the Rolling Stones, releasing it as the lead single from the Jackson Family Victory Reunion album that summer. Sit with what that pairing meant for a moment. The king of pop and the frontman of the Rolling Stones on the same record. Performing a song written by a 25-year-old from Gary, Indiana, who had started his entire career as a child performer on The Ed Sullivan Show.
Listen. She looks so great.
State of Shock shot to number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 and number 14 in the UK. It was the last top 10 hit the Jacksons ever released as a group.
Put me in a state
of shock.
They went out at the very top. The guitar is raw, the production is electric.
We're doing it!
And the backstory only gets richer, because somewhere in a vault, a version of this song still exists, with Freddie Mercury's voice, where Mick Jagger's is now. A demo of the Mercury and Jackson recording surfaced online in 2002.
Resuscitation. Come on, baby.
Music historians still call it one of the great lost recordings in pop history.
Look at me. Look at me.
Michael Jackson wrote a song so powerful that 2 of the greatest rock frontmen of all time both wanted their name on it.
Come on, let me in.
Number 6. Say 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 by Paul McCartney featuring Michael Jackson, 1983. Paul McCartney and Michael Jackson were, for a brief window in the early 1980s, the 2 most commercially powerful artists alive in popular music. And they were genuinely close.
Stay away so long, girl.
Not polite interview close, they wrote together, visited each other's homes, and spent real time together. In 1983, they released Say Say Say, a song they co-wrote together, and it became one of the most celebrated collaborations in pop history.
Love ain't real. Just look at my face, these tears ain't dry.
The track was recorded at AIR Studios in Montserrat, with legendary Beatles producer George Martin running the session. It carries a deceptive quality. It sounds light and almost casual. But that is the illusion. You cannot stop humming it, and you cannot explain why.
You can never say that I'm not the one.
That was Michael's specific genius as a co-writer. He understood groove and melody in a way that moved across every genre boundary. Sitting across from a Beatle, he could write a piece of pop music so frictionless it would live in people's heads for the next 40 years without wearing out. Say 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 entered the Billboard Hot 100 in the fall of 1983 and sat at number 1 for 6 consecutive weeks. George Martin later noted it was his 22nd #1 as a producer. His previous one had also featured McCartney on Ebony and Ivory with Stevie Wonder. The music video, set in the 1800s with the pair playing traveling con men, became one of the defining clips of early MTV. It remains one of the great creative partnerships in pop history, and exactly half of the writing credit on one of the biggest #1s of 1983 belongs to Michael Jackson. Number 5, Shake Your Body Down to the Ground by the Jacksons, 1979. Let's go back to 1979. Michael Jackson is 20 years old. He and his brothers have just left Motown and signed to Epic Records as the Jacksons. For the first time, the brothers are writing and producing their own music, no corporation songwriters, no Motown machine directing every decision. And Michael sits down with his brother Randy and builds a song from nothing. It starts as a 20-minute improvisation locked to a single chord. That song eventually becomes the most important record the group ever releases. Shake Your Body Down to the Ground was the first clear signal that Michael Jackson, the songwriter, had genuinely arrived. The groove is built on pure tension, a dissonant verse that collapses into a chorus so satisfying it barely sounds like it belongs to the same song. Horn arranger Tom Tom 84 filled in the spaces. Producer Bobby Colombi shaped the 8-minute album version into a radio cut of 3 minutes and 47 seconds and knew immediately he was holding a hit. The song peaked at number 7 on the Billboard Hot 100 in May 1979 and reached number 3 on the R&B chart. It sold over 2 million copies in the United States. It became a permanent live fixture performed across the Destiny Tour, the Triumph Tour, the Victory Tour, and Michael's own Bad World Tour. It was still in Michael's show at the 30-year anniversary concerts at Madison Square Garden in 2001, the final time the Jacksons ever shared a stage together. And he wrote all of this at 20 years old. 2 full years before Off the Wall, 3 years before Thriller. Everything was already there. Number 4, Can You Feel It by the Jacksons, 1980. If Shake Your Body was the blueprint, Can You Feel It was the cathedral, written by Michael Jackson and his brother Jackie for the Triumph album in 1980. This is not just a song, it is a declaration, a mission statement set to music. And its music video was so far ahead of everything else happening in pop at the time that it still looks extraordinary by any standard today. The song is constructed like a gospel record fused to a cosmic funk arrangement. Michael's vocal delivery goes beyond performance. When he asks, "Can you feel it?" it carries the full weight of testimony. The strings swell, the bass settles deep. The choir rises behind him like a building wave. By the time the track reaches its peak, the emotional temperature in the room has completely shifted. In interviews, Michael described the song as being about love, the universal kind that connects all of humanity regardless of background. You can hear that belief embedded in every note he sings. The 1981 music video predates MTV by several months and predates the Thriller short film by 2 full years. Giant mythic versions of the Jacksons walk through cities and landscapes, showering golden light down on the world below them. The visual scale was unprecedented for any R&B act of that era. Michael was already thinking in cinema. He was already building images at a magnitude no one in his world had even imagined approaching yet. Can you feel it was not simply a great R&B record? It was the first public signal of exactly what Michael Jackson was truly capable of building. Number 3, Eaten Alive by Diana Ross, 1985. By 1985, Michael Jackson is at the absolute peak of everything. Thriller has become the best-selling album in recorded history. He has just co-written We Are the World. Every creative move he makes is international news. And in the middle of all of that, he co-writes the title track of Diana Ross's new album alongside Barry Gibb and Maurice Gibb of the Bee Gees. Eaten Alive is unlike anything else in Diana Ross's entire catalogue. It is theatrical, cinematic, and almost operatic in its dramatic construction. Barry Gibb, who spent the early 1980s reviving careers across multiple genres through his production work, described collaborating with Michael as a remarkable creative experience. The three of them, Jackson, Barry, and Maurice, built the track together from the ground up. And the result is a mid-decade R&B and dance record that sounds purpose-built for a stage the size of a stadium. The song reached number 3 on the Billboard dance chart. The music video, directed by David Hogan, cast Diana Ross as a demonic feline huntress in a black and white gothic setting, seductive, predatory, and completely unlike anything she had done before. Bold, strange, and genuinely mesmerizing. The Eaten Alive album was produced in full by the Gibb brothers, with Michael's co-writing credit sitting at the very center of the project on its title track. It remains one of the most underappreciated collaborations in his creative history, evidence that even the music he gave away at the height of his commercial powers was operating at a level most artists simply never reach. Number 2, We Are the World by USA for Africa, 1985, January 28, 1985. The American Music Awards have just ended. 45 of the most famous recording artists in the world are filing into A&M recording studios in Hollywood. A handwritten sign on the studio door reads, "Please check your egos at the door." Quincy Jones placed it there himself. And Michael Jackson, who arrived early, alone, at 8 o'clock that evening, has already laid down his entire solo vocal section before anyone else set foot inside the building. He and Lionel Richie wrote We Are the World together at Michael's family home, the Havenhurst Estate in Encino, California. Every night for a full week, they worked on lyrics and melodies together in Michael's bedroom. When Michael presented his completed musical ideas to Richie and Quincy Jones, both men were genuinely stunned at the speed. They had not expected a complete structural blueprint that quickly, but that was Michael's creative process. He heard the whole composition before he ever wrote a single word down on paper. The song was released on March 7, 1985 by Columbia Records.
Let me hear
It became the fastest-selling pop single in American history up to that point. Over 20 million physical copies were sold worldwide, placing it as the 8th best-selling single in recorded history. It won the Grammy Award for Record of the Year. It won the Grammy Award for Song of the Year. It raised over $60 million for African famine relief. Bruce Springsteen sang on it. Stevie Wonder, Tina Turner, Ray Charles. In all of them gathered around a song built note by note in Michael Jackson's bedroom late at night. He wrote music that literally fed people. That is the truth of what happened. Number 1. Billie Jean by Michael Jackson, 1982. This is the one you stayed for, and what you are about to hear will reframe everything. Michael Jackson wrote every single element of Billie Jean himself: the melody, the lyrics, the structure, and the bass line. That bass line, the groove that has lived inside pop music for over 40 years, arrived in his head before any other part of the song existed. He came to the studio with that pulse locked in his imagination and spent weeks refusing to let anyone adjust it until it sat exactly where he heard it. He fired the first engineer who worked on the track. He was 23 years old, telling a seasoned professional he was wrong. He was correct. Quincy Jones did not want Billie Jean on Thriller. He thought the introduction was too long. Michael refused to remove a single bar. That opening is now one of the most iconic moments in recording history. The bass line playing alone before the drums even arrive. Michael always knew what the song required. The record hit number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and held that position for 7 consecutive weeks. When Michael performed it on the Motown 25 television special in May 1983 and unveiled the moonwalk, Fred Astaire called him the following morning and told him it was the most innovative dancing he had ever witnessed in his lifetime. But the deepest reason Billie Jean sits at number 1 is this. Michael wrote it as a private exorcism, processing real paranoia and real fear about what extreme fame had done to his life. He turned that private pain into the most psychologically precise pop song of the 20th century. In a narrator who protests innocence while somehow still sounding uncertain. That ambiguity inside a 4-minute pop single is extraordinary. He did not just write a hit, he named a feeling that had no language before he gave it one. You are still here, and that tells me you already know this list is something special. Before we count down the top 5, hit that subscribe button right now. RnB Grove drops deep dives like this every single week. Ring the bell. Now back to the countdown.
She told me